So I guess we can continue the Alien series. Kind of waiting to see where I'm being divinely guided by spirit to post as far as videos today. They want me to do a twin flame reading. They want me to do this other reading about information that I've acquired on Tartaria, even more updates. But it's still kind of coming together for me because I had like intuitive dreams about it. Today, they want me to talk about my alien experience and kind of continue this saga or series that I started about how my alien experiences started as when I was a kid. So if you missed the first one, I'll link it here somewhere on the screen so you can see which video it is. And I'll also link it below in the description box, and I'll also pin it in the comments. A lot of you have been inquiring about my timeless readings, the ET ones, the Arcturian, the Syrian, the Palladian, and there's been like this sudden increase of interest in those. So if you have any questions about them or you just are intrigued, I definitely recommend them. They are timeless. They're each about 45 minutes long to an hour, and the links you get to keep for life. And the way the timeless readings work is they're very activating. They're always filmed during galactic activation portal days, which makes them even more potent, but they're just really activating, and they change and they shift each time you watch them. You'll receive like new downloads, new activations, new guidance, galactic guidance. They're amazing. So I'll put them here on the screen so you can see what they look like, and you can find them on my Etsy shop. The link isn't below, but yeah, I've had like a huge sudden increase in those all of a sudden, and it's intriguing, especially with this like new moon activity that we're in right now. But anyway, so Spirit is telling me to continue this series about my alien experiences. So we're going to dive in. So the first one I went over, I saw that huge fly in my room, and I'm always intrigued, like you might hear noises, see things. It is quite windy outside, as it was yesterday, and it still is today. So you'll hear our chimes outside, but you might hear like humming. You might notice like flashes, glitches throughout this video. That's what kind of, if you've seen the first one, then you 100% already know what I'm talking about. That whole time I was speaking on my very first experience that I remember as a tiny little kid, there was so much that went on throughout that video. So many noises and weird things. It sounded like a literal UFO like was hovering above my house. And yeah, so you'll remember if you've seen that one. So we're going to start. Gosh, and this is hard because it was such a long time ago. And I'm trying to remember what grade I was in exactly. But the elementary school that I went to was directly behind the neighborhood that I grew up in as a kid. And it was very interesting. There's a lot of stories that I could and tangents that I could go on about that. But I loved my elementary school. It was so much fun. I had so many friends. Like even in high school, me and a group of girls that were friends growing up met back there, took photos together. I think it was like our senior year of high school, which was really special. But yeah, it's just really wild, all the crazy things that I remember from those days. But anyways, so I'd always walk to school. Most of the time, and I'd walk back, and I'd have like either, my siblings that I walked to school with, or my mom would walk with me to school, or I'd walk with friends, different friends in the neighborhood, and we would walk to school. But this precise moment that this huge ET experience, we'll say alien experience, yeah, it happened while I was walking home from school. Okay. I'm trying to remember exactly what grade I was in. I know I was pretty little. I'm thinking I was probably around 7 or 8. maybe 9. I'm trying to remember exactly how old I was. I just know I was a little kid, and I was in elementary school because that's where I was walking home from. Okay. So it was a snowy day outside. We'll set the little scenery so you can get the full picture. It was a very snowy day outside. There was a good amount of snow on the ground. Probably like 6 to 7 inches of snow. It was crazy. And this is going to be really hard for me to talk about, but like probably not at the same time. So I'm walking home from school, and I reach about like halfway down the street, and I'm almost to where I would cut through my backyard to get to my house. Almost. Probably like a couple houses away. Maybe not even. So I'm like about that halfway mark, from where the end of the street is to where the elementary school is. And if next time I'm walking this, because I feel like I should. I feel like I should retrace my steps and rewalk it again, because I feel like this is a message from Spirit that I'm going to receive a lot of more like memory downloads and also more activations and memory recall. So I'm walking home. There's a good amount of snow on the ground. It's freezing cold. Hold on, my mom's calling me. Told you weird shit would happen. Oh my gosh. Okay, where did I leave off now? Where did I leave off? Because my mom just called me. So where did I leave off? I'm walking home and there's snow. Okay, we have this established. Okay, I'm a little kid and I'm walking home, and all I remember is both my hands, like both my arms, are in the snow. I'm laying on my belly, like on my stomach, like face down, and both my hands, both my arms are in this pile of snow on the sidewalk. Like, okay, so let's just say this is the sidewalk, this is the snow. Both my hand, like I was facing this way, and both my hands were in the snow. And I'm bawling my eyes out. I am bawling my eyes out, like crying so hard. And I'm confused because I don't know what happened. Like, I literally can't recall what happened. I don't know what happened. All I know is that I'm crying my eyes out and I'm confused because my arms are wet, my hands are cold, and I'm in the snow on the side of the sidewalk. The last thing that I remember is that I was walking home from school. So I'm in this spot that's like maybe a house or two down from where I would cut through my backyard to get to my house my normal way of walking home. And so I get out of the snow, I like brush myself off, I wipe off my tears. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, where am I? What happened? Like, what's going on? Like, just confused. And why am I crying? I don't know. So I wipe off my tears. I wipe off the snow. I like shake it off. I walk home. I cut through to the backyard of my house like I did every day. And I get home and I walk around front because I'm knocking on the back door and no one's answering it. And that's where they normally would. So I walk around front, and I remember this very vividly too, because I was like, that's strange. My mom's always ready at the door to get me. So I'm knocking on the door, no one gets it. I go around front and I walk around the house, and the garage door's up. It had just gone up, and my mom is on the phone and she is frantic. And she sees me and she's like, Kim, she's like, where were you? Where were you? She's like, I was on the phone with the cops. She's like, I was looking for you. I had no idea where you were. You've been gone for like 2 hours since school let out. I had no idea where you were. And I am so confused because in my mind, I remember I was just walking home from school. School had just ended. I was just walking home from school. The only weird thing that happened was that I was in the snow crying, but it didn't feel like it was that long. It felt like I don't know really what happened in between that time. It's just that I knew I just left school. So I knew it hadn't been 2 hours. So I'm really confused. My mom's confused. No one knows what happened. And so I'm like, what the hell happened to me? Like, what happened? And she was just really grateful that I was okay and that I was back home and that I'm alive. And I don't know what happened. So I go about my life for years, not remembering what happened, not knowing whatever happened with that incident. My mom didn't know, I didn't know, nobody knew, okay? Then I'm talking with a friend later on after my awakening, okay? So I had my awakening after giving birth to my daughter in 2017. And I have a whole video about that if you want to hear about that. It is ET. I was contacted. It was telepathic. And I thought I was going crazy, but I wasn't. It happened. And so, yeah, if you want to hear that story, I'll link that here. I think I still have it up on my YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's my whole awakening experience. But anyways, so after my awakening, I'm talking with a friend and we're talking about our ET galactic experiences. And all of a sudden, I'm talking about my experience that I had as a kid that was really weird because it was like lost time. Because to me, it felt like I was just walking home from school. And then my mom said that I had been missing for 2 hours. But to me, it felt like I had just walked home from school. So that's like 2 hours of lost time that I have no idea what happened in between. And as I'm telling my friend this story, because she's awakened as well and was into the starseed stuff. And as I'm telling her the story, all of a sudden I had this big flashback in my mind, in my mind's eye, in my memory, like big remembrance. And I'm remembering like being up on ship, like on a UFO. There's a lot here, guys, so bear with me. I remember being up on a UFO, okay, and I'm with this ET being, this light being that I recognize, that I know of. And this light being had, which was interesting, had recently manifested in real time during a live stream that I was doing where I was reading tarot for people, where I used to do my free tarot live streams. And this ET being like literally glitched during the live stream and showed itself and manifested in real time while I'm doing one of these card readings. And it was a purple light being. I have pictures of it. I've shown it before. And I can show like the live stream of what happened. This is really exciting. And this isn't just some like fluke thing. Like Spirit is reiterating, like you are on the right track. You are on the right path. The ideas that you're receiving are correct. Don't second guess them. This is really exciting. And this isn't just some like fluke thing. Like Spirit is reiterating, like you are on the right track. You are on the right path. The ideas that you're receiving are correct. But I can go over that more in another video too. But anyways, so that had happened recently, and that is significant. I have to state that too. So that happened, and then I'm talking with a friend about how I had this recall of that same light being that had manifested during the live stream that I did is up on ship with me. It's a purple light being. I think I said that. And then I had memory recall of this light being carrying me down from the UFO and placing me in the snow. Like zip back, like when you have like a memory that all of a sudden you remember, it's like zip, and all of a sudden you know it and you remember it. Like it was just like that. As I'm telling the story about what happened that I never knew the answer to, that I never knew what happened, I didn't know what happened during that missing time. I never understood the whole experience. It didn't like connect for me that it would have been an ET experience. Like that never would have had even crossed my mind for some reason. It was just a very odd experience, and I just thought of it as such. Like I didn't really think much about it. I kind of forgot about it as the years passed. It always kind of stayed in the back of my mind that it was weird, but like, yeah, so huge recall of that light being that had recently manifested in my live stream. Then I'm telling the story, and then I have memory recall of that light being the one with me up on ship during those 2 hours that I was missing, and then carrying me down. And my friend, who's also into like the ET stuff, she told me like a lot of the times, like they'll give you, like the ET beings will give you like shots to make you forget of your like abduction experience, because I do think it was some sort of abduction, but I don't think it was anything nefarious, because it felt like it didn't feel nefarious. It didn't feel like it was bad or anything like that. It just felt like I was like, I needed to be given a message during that point in my journey. And then I had to come up on ship to that higher dimension to be activated, to acclimate to that environment and like remember where I come from, and to acquire that information that I was needing then, that I need now to relay to you all now through these, because when I talk, it's like it's all coming through, right? And so she said they'll give you a shot so you're not traumatized after your abduction experience, and that way it wipes your memory and you forget of that happening. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense as to why I didn't remember what happened. Like I couldn't recall what happened at all. And she said, well, sometimes it doesn't fully work. Like it's supposed to work, but you still have that subconscious memory or little bits and pieces and fragments of that memory of what had happened. And sometimes the shot wears off and you remember things that you're not supposed to remember. And I remembered the ET being like taking me down from the ship and laying me in the snow, just like how I was placed. And I was probably crying, she said, because I was probably traumatized after what happened to me, because I sort of remembered it, but at the same time I didn't. And because I was given that shot to forget it. And it's kind of like, okay, well, I was just in a higher dimension and now I'm back on 3D again. I was probably sad because I was probably with my freaking ET family and was happy to see them. I didn't want to come back down to Earth. Because who would? But anyways, sorry, I had to plug in my charger. So yeah, that's what happened. And now it makes sense why I had that lost time. So that's my second ET experience. Yeah, if I remember anything else or I recall anything else, I will add onto this video of the series, or make a separate video adding onto like a second part of this video. You get it. But yeah, so that was my second ET experience. I have a few more, I think. Yeah, I have quite a few more, actually. So if you wanted to hear them, let me know in the comments below. Give this a like and definitely subscribe. And let me know in the comments below if you want to see or hear any more of my ET experiences. But yeah, there's that one. It was definitely interesting. And I still to this day wish I could remember all of it, all of the experience, but that is it to the best of my knowledge. I love you all so much. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.